Yoga for the immune system. So I'm really researching what is the immune system. And go ahead and get a seat right now. We're going to start seated, and then we're going to come to standing right after we do our breathing and focusing, because the immune system is really, it's made up of bone marrow. Okay, I thought that was interesting. I actually didn't know that, so I love learning new things about our body. White blood cells, and I should have known that. White blood cells are produced in the bone marrow. Duh. That's my duh. And the spleen. Okay, so bone marrow and spleen is the largest organ of the immune system. And then we have our thymus. So right now while I'm chatting, I want you to just lightly thump the center of your chest, lovingly, little love pats, to your thymus gland. And your thymus gland produces T cells. It's most active when we are young, especially during adolescence, when our body is really building its immunities. So we can help to reactivate it. Sometimes the thymus glands actually shrivel and disappear because they're not as necessary. It's not as utilized later in life, but we can help to stimulate that. It's also nice to just tap your heart and wake your heart up. And are you breathing at the same time? So thumping the thymus, waking that up. And then finally we have the lymph nodes and the whole lymph system, which needs movement to function. So we're going to do a lot of active movement today to get our lymph glands stimulated and get the lymph flowing through our body. All right, let's just feel what that's like after thumping your thymus. And then make yourself comfortable. You could even well, no, actually we're going to do naughty show, and I prefer you sitting. You could sit on a couch if you want, but sit nice and tall and really get a sense of how your legs are arranged, and make sure that the arrangement of your legs feels good in your hip joints. And let's go ahead and close the eyes. And start to feel inwardly and be very aware of what you're feeling in your body today. Let's start with the physical form, just sensations in your physical body. Is there any area that feels really relaxed and heavy? Maybe bring some of that into your hips. Let your hips be heavy and sink into whatever's supporting you right now. And then maybe feel places in your body where you feel light. Maybe the tips of your fingers, or the top of your head. Or now that you've thumped your thymus, maybe the center of your heart. Can you sense any sort of lightness in your physical body? And then also notice, of course, any areas where you may feel tension, so that we know we want to address that during our practice today, as well as any areas of dullness. Just taking into consideration the movement that you've been experiencing in the last 24 hours. And then start to bring more of your attention to the breath itself, to the energy body. I like to start with sensing the breath at the tip of the nose and just feeling that coolness, that little tickle on the inhalation through the sinus passages, and then that warmth of the exhalation as you release and let go. And then you may follow your breath from the tip of your nose down through the windpipe, and maybe settle your attention for a moment in the windpipe and just feel that sensation of the breath flowing through the throat. And you can relax your ears to hear the sound of your breath. And just let them settle there. That oceanic wave-like sound of your breath. And then follow that breath down into the lungs and get a sense of the whole torso, how it responds to the breath, perhaps softening the belly, Feeling the sense of the rib cage expanding in all directions. On the gentle rise and fall of your chest. The expansion between the collarbones. And then let your attention settle wherever you find yourself most interested. The tip of the nose, the throat, the chest, the belly. And gift yourself this opportunity for mindfulness meditation, which helps to soothe our nervous system, which is so important in maintaining a strong, resilient body and a strong immune system. It starts with the nervous system being relaxed so that all those other systems can function and communicate properly. So let's take a minute of silence together and just listen to your breath. Let your mind hear and feel and observe the breath coming in and the breath flowing out. In your next few breaths, we still have another 30 seconds. Feel yourself pausing following the in-breath, just a momentary stillness without force or strain. And the same following your exhalation. Continuing that slow, deep, mindful breath. Observe again how you feel in your body. And if you need to wobble or wiggle a little bit, if there's any tension, just always let there be a sense of ease and suppleness. Don't ever hold yourself rigidly. You want to release and also notice your state of mind. So notice how bringing this breath to a deep, even flow affects our physical body and our mental emotional body. And then let's place our hands on our heart. I just want to ask you to place them flat down rather than an Anjali mudra, just right on the heart, one hand on top of the other. So we move in this practice from our heart space. We're here to take care of ourselves and to support one another. There's no competition. There's nothing you have to do. Everything's an invitation. And just as I'm inviting you into the practice, I'd like you to invite your own body, mind into the practice. And know that everything is optional and we'll all move in a way that feels comfortable and safe. This is what we want to develop and cultivate today, is that sense of comfort and safety. And when we feel that, we actually, our bodies function so much better, right? We're in that parasympathetic nervous system. Our body calms down, everything communicates, and that's our greatest defense, being strong and resilient. Take 3 more breaths here, and this time as you exhale, drop the jaw, H-A-ha breath. Relaxing the jaw, just dropping the jaw down. Another deep breath in, not piercing the lips, just drop the jaw. And one more time, this time with a little vibration. It feels good to let go some sound. Ah. And then gently blink open your eyes. Release your hands. Okay. So I would like to begin standing. We're going to get some energy flowing through some movement. So I'm going to rearrange slightly here my visual aids and come to standing, everyone. Make sure you can feel your feet. They haven't gone numb while you're sitting. That's important. And if my sound goes out at all, gets glitchy, would you, if someone just unmute and let me know, because working so you can hear well. I think it's better today than last week. Let's come to standing and bring your feet a little bit wider out shoulder. Thank you everyone for being here once again. Nice to meet you. Then I love to open conscious conversation to check in. I stimulating questions to put forth just to help if you could stick around, that'd be great. Those I haven't seen for.
I'm having the sound cut in and out.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out.
Really
Okay.
cut in and out, Nancy.
Was I during the meditation?
No.
Okay.
We started getting the moving of the sound in.
Right. All right. I'll just expose my little pack here. I think it's my antenna. Is it better? Is it better? Hello? Is it better? Someone talk to me.
Yes, it's better now.
Okay. I just won't cover my pack. All right. So placing your feet shoulder width apart, please. And let your knees bend a little bit. So I call this shins forward. I'm going to exaggerate. Shins forward, thighs back. Okay, so we got this movement going on, kind of like a lightning bolt. And then you're just going to let your knees and your hips bend. So you're what I call jostling. You're kind of jostling this way. And your shoulders kind of go up and down too. So because lymph fluid needs movement to move, we're going to move. And this is a great way to just start to move the fluids through your body. Let's take some deep breaths in through our nose and out through our mouth. And then, if you can, bring your heels off the floor a little bit, if it feels okay in your knee joints. And if you can, you could also come off the floor a little bit. Ladies, you could also take your hands over your chest, give a little more support to the chest if you need to. And so if you like bouncing, this is a great thing to do every day, get your energy flowing, obviously. If you have a trampoline, that's even better. Deep breaths in and out. And land. And then stand nice and tall and now feel, it's kind of like being a human lava lamp. You can feel your energy moving through your body. And be fascinated by that. Yeah. And then let's stand well on our own 2 feet, settling like I did this last week, like we just shook up all the glitter inside and now it's settling. So settling into the strength of our lower body, the roots of our legs, the strength of our pelvis, and then we'll be light through the upper body. So I want you to feel yourself lifting your ribs away from your pelvis and getting long from hips to armpits. So your arms are floating. And then we'll gently rotate the arm bones open from the top of the shoulder. Let the breath go, and then let's just scoop up all that we need today and reach overhead. And then let go as we come down. What can you let go of? And then again, take it up, inhale, feeling the lower body strong and steady. And then as you exhale, keep the upper body light. And again, in and out. One more time, we'll take it up. And then this time, let's bend the elbows, grab a wrist, your elbows are bent, and we're gonna lift that one elbow up and just feel that lengthening, really opening up the space between the ribs and the pelvis. And then start to lean into that space and open up your side body. While that's happening, you could also turn your head a little right to left. Feel what's happening in the neck, keep the jaw relaxed. And then looking down, tuck the chin towards the collarbone. Squeeze into the side of the neck, pressing out through your side body. And again, enjoy your breath. And then give yourself the opportunity to make little refinements here and there, just feeling what's over there today, what's happening inside. Let your breath go all the way, and then use your inhalation to float back up. And then we're going to release the arms and take big circles all the way around. And now these circles, this is really good for your lymphatic system because those lymph glands are really near the surface at the armpit, chest. And so we're giving that a little bit of an awakening. You can think of it as like squeezing the sponges, clearing them out. And release. Root down into the legs, spin the arms out again, and other side. Take it up, inhale. Grab a wrist and breathe your way into the pose. So take several breaths, like really working in that top elbow, really reaching and then leaning. Sometimes you'll tend to drop forward or back. So play with that. You want to try and get right to the side body. And then we'll get front and back. Again, release the neck and shoulders. Some of you might find yourself stretching your arms further. Just be aware of the neck. Keep that open. Some of you might need to bend the elbows more. If anyone here has shoulder issues, you could also do this with your arms down like this. So just always modify. Be creative. Since I don't get to see you and give you my personal suggestions and modification, be wise. Listen to that inner voice of guidance and make changes so that your body feels safe and comfortable. One more breath. Let the chin come towards the throat to stretch the upper side of the neck and actually squeeze the lower side. And then inhale to center. And let's let these arms go. And release. Now step 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. I like to liken this like standing on a surfboard kind of. So get really grounded in your feet. Be able to bring your weight back and forth. Okay, you're just going to leave the front leg, hand on the front leg, and then this back arm, we're going to get some momentum going. So I'm moving from my core, my center, my hips are going back and forth, okay? And the arm is moving because of that perpetual motion. So you're just loosening up in that shoulder girdle. The strength is down in the lower body. And then as you come into it, slow it down a little. You can get a little circle going. Maybe the elbow stays bent. Again, we want all that movement in the armpit chest area to stimulate those lymph nodes. And I've heard a lot of people are watching a lot of Netflix lately. A lot of movies, a lot of time at the computer, a lot of time reading books as we're isolated in our homes. So the upper body sometimes doesn't get enough movement. Okay. So this is a good thing to do every day, especially if you've been sitting still for a while. All right. And just shake that out and come over to the other side. Bring your feet back together, actually. And then bring the other foot forward. So just start to feel that moment. So you're feeling grounded. We are going to do some balancing today too. So you want to feel the center, your pelvis is the center focal point of your balance. So as you move it back and forth, now let that other arm swing because of that movement. It also feels kind of playful too, which is fun, right? Watch your kids. Kids are always just doing stuff like this, swinging around, playing with movement without even really thinking about it. And then maybe up and around this, maybe a big circle. So just be in that arm bone area. Woo! Shorten it if it feels vulnerable, right? So maybe you have some shoulder issues. Love your shoulder. No judgment. Just work with what you got. And shake it out. Loosen that up. All right. So now we come back to center. And with the feet right underneath the pelvis, lift from the crown of the head and plug in. Again, feel the subtle energy body awakening. That nice internal massage. So the other area where we have a lot of superficial lymph glands are right here in the groin, right? We know that when we do get ill, they get swollen. And so we're going to do some squeezing and releasing here. So now step your feet wide, turn your toes out a little bit. And when you bend your knees, I want you to send your hips way back so your knees stay more over your ankles. So you're not jutting your knees forward. So bottoms up, take it back. And now squeeze. See, we're flexing now, right? The hip joint. So there's that little compression in the hips. Press down. Okay. And then let's go ahead and tuck the tail, round the back, bring the elbows in, and stretch your back muscles. And then sinking back down, rotate the sitting bones. Let the elbows flare, open the chest. And then exhale. Actually do it the other way. Flare here. Then bring the elbows in when you extend. So this is spinal extension, spinal flexion. And you are moving the pelvis. So we're tucking the tailbone under. Move this mic a little. And then lifting it up. So notice how that feels. So again, you can go as low as you want, but not beyond the knees. And round it up. Forgot which way I was going. Just feel into your back. Move it around a little bit now, side to side. What's happening in your spine today? Everybody come down low together. Drop in. Nice, strong stance. We put out a little know your yoga posture according to your horoscope sign this week. And mine is the goddess. Taurus. Any Taurus in the group? This is the goddess pose. And I do love this pose because feel the strength in your lower body. And then you're really zipping up your belly and opening your chest and pressing down. I'm doing a little bit of a bounce just to keep things moving. You could hold steady if you want. Let your breath go. And then we're going to push down, squeeze the muscles around the knees, and then lift up in a big open V. Now we'll bring the hands down center and push into our hips, squeezing at the groin, and then push down, squeeze the quadriceps, lift the belly, lift the heart, reach it up, and then exhale through your mouth. Inhale and out. So really do this from the strength of your legs, pushing down to lift up, and even holding steady as you float down. So you're not dropping down, you're lowering down into the strength of the roots. Again, this is getting all of that circulation going in the hips, the groin, waking things up, letting our body cleanse itself, nourish itself from the inside out. Are you getting warm? Because this is called Paleasana in honor of the volcano goddess. So get your own lava flowing, hot lava. Now pause. And keeping your chest up, keeping your heart open, straighten your legs as much as you can, just to feel a comfortable stretch here. And avoid rounding your back. I want you to keep your bottom lifted right now. Maintain this lumbar curve. And then drop down and lift up. And gently sink down, but come way back in your heels. Your toes should be able to come off the floor. You don't want to be having your knees forward over your toes. Pull way back. Get the work in the glutes. Stretch them and let them support you. Lift. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Once again, we're going to stop low and then pushing through the legs, lift up as we did before, all the way up, and then reach the arms around. And then sweep them around. So again, we're getting that armpit chest movement deep into the groins. Give a little stretch. Keep your head up so you don't get dizzy. And sink back down. So 6 movements all together. For the inhale 1, exhale 2, inhale lift, exhale squat, inhale lift, and down. Get that pattern. In, you can think of this as your pranification of the morning. This is one practice you can do all by itself that brings a lot of benefit. Called lifting from center. So bring your hands up the midline and down the midline. One more time, all the way through. So stay with me. If anything, keep breathing with me. And then take it all the way up and let go. And feel your energy now. Let your heart calm down. You might want to take your hands now right on the tops of your thighs. Okay. And you're going to push your thighs forward. This is the only time I have you push your thighs forward. Feel how that opens the groin and it drops your lower back. So we rarely do this. We mostly want to go back. So just that, thighs forward, thighs back. Keep your head up. Let the movement come from the thigh 15 position. Thighs going back, thighs going forward. Thighs go back, and then take them over to the side, and then forward, and the other side. So now we're going to really get deep in that hip joint. Circle around. Take your gaze down to the floor in front of you without dropping your chin. And just let your eyes get really soft. Find one place to focus. And keep going in this direction. We're stirring it up. Giving those hips some movement, just in case you've been serial watching Netflix. And then the other direction. All the way around. I thought I was going to get out and do a little gardening this week until the snowstorm hit last night. Ha! I bet a lot of you thought the same thing, right? Those gardens were looking pretty messy after the winter. But they're all covered up again. It's beautiful and white. So we got to get our movement another way. Let's come right into center and settle. And feel what you've just created through that movement. So those of you that haven't practiced yoga motion before, this is my trademark practice. I love to start with warming up, literally and figuratively. Feel how you've warmed your body up and how you've also warmed up the relationship with your breath and the relationship with your body and your breath moving together. And how about the relationship of your mind staying present with your breath and your body? So now that we're warmed up, come back into mountain pose, your feet right underneath, and just feel into that. And then we're going to do some nice deep stretches. So we're going to open the arms up. We're going to put all that together. Take the arms overhead. Again, another signature move. How could I not do half salutation? It's something I love every day. I hope you do too. So the arms are overhead, elbows bent or straight, and leaning to one side. We're just going to exhale once to the side, and then inhale back to center. But take the full length of your inhalation to get here. We're slowing down now. Grab the other wrist, exhale. Remember that pause we did in our breathing? Pause momentarily empty, and then inhale back to center. Pause momentarily full. Now stretch your arms out and bring them right to the rim of your pelvis. And then exhale down into your pelvis. Now when we inhale, take the arm bones up and back. Keep the knees soft and lift the chest. Avoid thrusting your hips forward. Keep the hips over your heels. Lift the chest. Now keep breathing because we're just learning. This is going to be an inhalation eventually. But for right now, squeeze. Some of you might be comfortable taking your hands all the way around to your sacrum, fingers down your back. Notice how it feels on your shoulders. Chest wide open. Some of you, if you have not had any neck injuries, could open the throat. And now our next move is to bend the knees and rotate the pelvis forward. So notice you're moving from the ball and socket joint of your hips. Stop when you feel your hamstrings. Slide your hands down to the thighs, shins, or floor, and then gently release the crown of your head towards the floor. Let's take a few breaths here. If you need a little more space between your feet, make that happen. Some of you could crease more at the groin. Round in. Make sure you're really keeping the bottom up. Don't want to, no rounding the back like that. Bottom up, head lowers. Then place your hands on your shins or your thighs. Push into your feet. Tone your belly. So you're lifting the abdomen. Pull the chest forward and feel the muscles in your back engage. Feel your shoulder blades hugging into your ribs. And then release down again into the groin and then crown of head. Repeat that lift, back body strong. Take the arms out to your side. Notice the knees are bent, bottoms up, back is strong. Right? You're opening the chest, and then you come all the way up in one piece and stretch the arms overhead. And then side bend. Inhale, center. Side. Inhale, center. Long, slow breaths. Exhale the hands to the rim of the pelvis. Inhale, open. And then bend the knees first because it's easier to hinge forward. Hands to the thighs or the shins. A few of you might touch the floor, have blocks. Come up halfway, all the way up till your back muscles engage and your chest is open. Keep the belly toned as you round over. And then again, come up and over, reach it up, and side bend. So really focus on your breath. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale your hands down. Let them move from the shoulder blades. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, bend the knees, hinge the hips, forward fold. Halfway up, inhale. Exhale. Find the strength of your back and then lift, unhinging from the hips. Last time, we're going to side bend. Inhale, center. Other side. Center. And the arms come down and return. This time, hands together at the heart in Anjali Mudra. Maybe close your eyes or just glance off the tip of your nose. And again, take inventory. Notice how that movement is feeling to you. Know that you're doing your body some good. Getting everything moving is so good, not only for the immune system, but our digestive system, nervous system, all systems communicating well. And release. Okay, we're going to do some standing poses today. So I'd like you to stand really wide. Make sure you've got a solid space to stand on. Look at your feet, and you can have them parallel outside edges to start. Press firmly on the inner edge of your foot and hug your outer ankles in. So you're not rolling the ankles. You want to be strong on the platform of your foot. If it feels like your ankles and knees, maybe turn out slightly. Check in with your jaw. And then softening the knees, bring the awareness to the pelvis again. And just like we did standing, we're moving from the hip joint, coming forward, okay? Then the hands come to the thighs or the shins. If any of you have blocks, you could have them on the floor here, okay? It's always lovely. You can even use books or footstools if you get creative at home. Otherwise, right here. I'm going to let the one knee bend and really keep pulling your bottom back and up. So when you bend your knee, it doesn't go jutting forward. And we're going into this leg right here. You might want to put your forearm on your thigh, okay, and pressing. We're opening the inner thigh. Feel that. And keep your foot grounded. Both feet firmly grounded when you do this. Take a few breaths. Ease in. If you have a block, if you're open enough, you might get your hand to the floor. Okay, so do what feels stable and also go into that deep stretch of your inner thigh, your adductors. And take your breath into those spaces of sensation. You could either go right up against point of sensation and hold, or you might pulsate a little bit in and out of it. Do keep your belly toned and your upper body light. One more breath. Now to come up, start from your center. Lift from your belly and your hips up and over to the other side. Okay, so dropping in. Again, bottoms back and up. Now this is one I have to really work with a lot when I'm working live. So I'm going to trust that you're listening. I'm going to show you what I mean. Because what happens is a lot of times people do this. And this takes your lumbar curve out and your knee goes forward and it puts a lot of pressure in your knee. So it's better to have your torso up more, get your hips way back, get your knee back so your weight's really on your heel. You'll feel more solid. Tone the belly and the back muscles. So you're holding the torso up lightly. And you're easing your way into that inner thigh on the straight leg. And feel your breath. Without the breath, it's not yoga. So keep that breath going. One more inhalation and exhalation. And then again, to come up, lift up. Okay, and then we're going to stop in the middle and start to hinge. Now you might want to bend your knees a lot because that'll keep the bottom up. You straighten the legs and you start to round. That's not the form. Bottom up, and then gently letting the crown of the head drop, the upper body round. And then where do you want to put your arms? You could have your forearms on your thigh. That might be more solid for some of you if your hamstrings are resistant. You could use blocks. Play. Get in there. Move around a little bit. Just kind of be curious and explore the territory. Yeah. I know for me during this time, there's a lot of hidden tension that we can hold on to unknowingly. So we're going in there to find it and let it go. So feel into your body and recognize where you can release unnecessary holding. We definitely want the strength and stability, but there's oftentimes unnecessary effort that we can release. One more breath here, and then we're going to lift up halfway. So hands back on thighs, tone belly, shoulder blades strong on your back. Okay, that means your arm bones are back, and then lift up the strength of your hips. All right, now hold that. Well, you might need a break. Let's bring the feet in a little bit and walk out your ankles just in case you're feeling a little bit. So when I'm lifting, I'm really pushing the top of the foot open, toes down. Okay. Let's just keep doing this. And if you bring your hand to the opposite knee, this helps stimulate the neural pathways between the right and left hemispheres of your brain. So just in case your brain's been a little taxed lately, let's give it a little massage, little neuroplasticity going on in there. And now go slower. I want you to go in slow motion, which is actually requiring a little balance. So shift your awareness from the lifting of the leg to the pushing down of the standing leg. And let's freeze frame and open both arms up and circle the ankle. And release. Bring the other leg up. Open the arms, circle. So same thing, take your bottom up and back. Keep your thighs back. That alignment is in every single pose. Other direction. If balance is difficult today, you could do it like this. Just get moving however you can. And then down. We're going to go wide again. So step wide. We're going to take what we felt in the last pose of the inner thighs, but we're keeping our body upright this time for a little warrior energy. We need to be warriors, right? Peaceful warriors, wellness warriors. Okay? Recognize what you're really standing for these days. And let's stand for the good of all. So place your hands on your hips and then rotate your hips right to left. Notice how you're feeling your knees. You're going to take your hips all to one side. And when you turn to that side, turn the whole leg with it. So you've got one foot pointing towards the short edge of the mat. And then this back leg is your anchor. So I want you to push firmly, so firmly into that back leg. And squeeze the quadriceps. And move your hip in line with your heel. Okay? And then slowly bend the front knee, and you can let your pelvis and torso turn so your knees right over your ankle facing your little toe. Super important alignment there. And then pull your back arm back and lift so your torso's upright. Okay, not leaning forward. Pull yourself back. You have to crease deep in this back hip. That's going to give you that stretch in that inner thigh. Okay, so you're sitting down, settling into your hips, and then you can let the top arm float. So the front part of your body, this is the front over here now, bent knee, is light. You're easing into it. The back side is your strength and power, pulling you up, keeping you grounded. And then you sit well in between. So this is a great pose. We're going to stay for a few breaths. So get your breath moving. The back body represents our past. Everything that's brought us here, all of our experiences, knowledge, lessons. The front side represents the future. We're looking forward, what's to come. Right now, a lot of uncertainty, and yet there's certain things we know. We can come back to our basic values, what's important to us in our own heart. That can never be taken away. So we can settle in the present moment right here, in the center line of our body. Be present. This is where we're most effective. 3 more breaths. Building your strength and stamina, settling inside yourself. Let your exhalation acknowledge the foundation of your roots and the strength of your core. And then inhale, lift, straightening the front leg, bring it forward. Release the arms. Might want to bring your feet in a little, and let's do that little hip roll we did earlier. The longer we remain in a certain form, the more we get to know it. So let yourself move in and out as you need to, but also challenge yourself a little bit to remain steadfast. Pause. Adjust your width. Okay, so you might have to go more wide or more narrow depending on what the last pose felt like. Turn your pelvis to the side so your whole leg turns. You've got to turn your pelvis to turn the leg. Back leg super strong. And look to see that the middle of your hips in line with your heel. And then sink down. Feel that inner thigh stretching. Super solid in the heel of the front foot and the outer edge of your back foot. Pull that back arm back. Get your torso upright. Look over your shoulders. If you have to turn more towards that leg, that's okay. Make sure this knee is aligned. That's number 1 here. So arm can float up. So again, we sink, we reflect, we refine. Full deep breath in, pause. Full deep breath out. Breathe into your past, acknowledge it, appreciate all you've been through. Look forward into your future, what's ahead. What are the possibilities? And settle yourself right into the here and now. One more breath. Now squeeze all those muscles to the bone as you come up. Release. Oh, yeah. Get it. Or hop it together. Shake it out. Shake a leg. Shake the other leg. We're going to do one more, and this one's more another balancing, because what I find is when the mind is distracted, and there's a lot of distraction going on these days, is it really helps to do balancing poses because it demands your attention. So the legs and the hips are very similar to the last pose. So we're going to turn this one leg out, just like we did in the wide stance, and that's what happens in your hips. So this thigh is outer spiraling, and the standing leg, which is going to be the standing leg, is outer spiraling. So I need to feel yourself pulling the groins in and down. So you keep your lumbar curve, not push forward. Okay, we're going to do the tree. We're going to become circly in the earth. We're from all over the earth today, and we just imagine our roots coming in. Seeing the earth, because she is healing as the human race is in detention. The earth is healing. It's amazing how a little bit can do so much. So we're going to now take the heel up into the ankle, and that might be where you stay. Your knee is drawing out, your hips are facing directly forward. So you've got a little rotation going on here. Feel that. Your backside should be quite activated. So you're really squeezing your deep external rotators, toning your belly, lifting from hip to armpit. Take the arms out to the side, check in. Now, you don't have to look at me if you know this pose. It's better not to. Find your own gazing point. And then bring the foot either into the calf, or if it's comfortable, I find it even easier, into the thigh if your hips open. Now root down, make sure that standing leg is supple and strong. Squeeze your muscles to the bone, And then start to branch up. Let's branch up. Imagine we're all holding each other's hands up here. We're holding on to each other, our whole community coming together, circling the planet, and breathe your blessings out into the world. And also breathe in all those blessings that are coming towards you. And then gracefully, full deep breath in, and then slowly coming back into the mountain. Nature has so much to teach us. So let's move to the other side slowly. Feel the shifting now, that subtle shift now to the other foot, the unweighting of one, the grounding of the other, the action that's happening in the pelvis, the stability of your roots. Then bringing the leg up if you can. Arms out to where they support you. Some people feel more comfortable in. Be creative. Every tree is different, right? Look at a forest. No tree is the same. Neither are we. I like palm trees. So I'm going to be a palm tree. Swaying in the tropical breezes while it's snowing outside. And again, we're coming together. So again, imagine our roots. Woo! A little breeze. Our roots coming together, supporting each other, supporting our community, supporting humankind. Recognize how wonderful it is that everyone's on the same page all around the planet. Not for the reasons we were hoping, but it's happening. We're all in this together. And there's very beautiful lessons to be learned. One more full deep breath in. Stand tall in all that you are. And then let's slowly bring it down in your own way, rooting back into the earth. Find your mountain pose. Let's just close the eyes for a moment in mountain. And again, feeling the outer body align, and feel inwardly that subtle energy you've awakened, all the rivers and streams of your body flowing freely. So your body can communicate, it can nurture itself, nutrify itself, cleanse itself. That is the innate desire of our human body, is to heal itself over and over again. Trust it. And then move it, feed it well, and rest deeply. Set up the environment for your body to be strong and resilient. Your mind to be present and open to possibilities. And your heart settled in the present moment. Releasing your breath all the way. Flutter your eyes open. Shake it out once again. We're going to come to the floor. So it would be great if you had some sort of something that you could put your legs up on, so you could get near a couch. I have a chair, so I'm going to put that right here. You could have pillows, a wall. You could be near a wall. But we're not going to go there yet. We still have some time. So have a seat on the ground. I'm going to move this a little bit. There we go. We'll do a little bit of sitting. So take the feet out in front of you. And you also have an option. It's also good to have a couple blankets. You always have blankets at home. So when you sit on the floor, so many options. It's the hardest form, right? Standing and laying down is easier. But when you sit on the floor, once again, lower back in. So if you're like this, put something under your hips. Blocks, blankets, pillows, books, whatever you got. Stick them under there. And get your hips up, and that's going to make it easier to rotate. And then the feet floor is not comfortable. The feet are going to come kind of far away from you. You don't need to bring them way up. You'll adjust. And we're just going to bring the soles together. And again, we're opening the inner thighs today because the reason I'm focusing here is because these lymph glands sit right in here. We're going to give them a little squeeze again, right? I mean, they're all over the body, but this is where they're most easily accessed. And then we're going to hinge. So there's that hinging action. And then I want you to just let the elbows flare. Maybe they're up here near your knees. And just soften your back. Let it round. And now fool around in the pose and find your own way in. Drop into where it feels soothing and comforting. Let your head hang. Some of you, if you have blocks or bolsters, you could put your head on a block if that feels better for your neck. So I want you to get creative. I can't see you, so I'm trusting you. And now we're going to stay for 1 minute. And that staying is committing to sensation. If something feels unsafe, of course, shift what you're doing. But also we can move into what we call playing our edge and really stay in a place that might be a little intense, but not painful, okay? And we just practice patience, like be in there. For me, I feel a lot more in my right hip than my left. I have tension there, so I'm just going to explore it a little bit and maybe shift my torso slightly one way or the other. It's going to change sensation. So this is how we get into the deeper layers. Our big movement works the big muscles. Our smaller, intimate movement gets into those layers that sometimes never even get touched. So what can you touch with your breath and your awareness right now? About 5 more breaths. So enjoy those breaths. Enjoy the quiet. Sink in. Now, as we begin to bring this to completion, I want you to come out as very, very slowly. Take about 3 breaths. So first of all, where are you going to put your hands for support? So you just can push slowly up. Walk your way up, breathing, breathing. I hope that felt as good to you as it did to me. Place your knees together. Help them together. Ooh. And then you might want to lean back and just let your knees rock a little bit right to left. All right. Now you're going to come near your, whatever it is, you're going to put your legs up. Okay. But you're not going to put them up yet. I'm going to put a blanket down for myself. So you're going to put your feet on the floor just in front of your, what should I call this? Your prop. Okay. And arms out to the side. Okay. And then we're just going to let the knees rock right to left. Oh, yeah. And this is just to loosen up the lower back. And then pausing, straighten one leg out. And I'd like you to, if you're near a couch, just turn your body to the side, get creative. Okay, I ran into the back of my chair. So stretch a leg out. And then bring the other leg up and hold it just with one hand. You can leave the other hand out because we really want this leg to stay down. And as this leg comes up, the tendency is for this to pop, and we don't want that. So we're going to push the bent knee away and straighten, really straighten the straight leg. It's not a bent leg, it's a straight leg, unless your hip flexors are that tight. That's okay. Straighten it all the way as much as you can. If you are near a wall, you could be pushing your foot into a wall. That's even a good way to go. And then this leg is going to go slightly out to the side and then start to come up, but don't let this thigh pop up. And you're going to feel a big opening, hopefully a welcoming opening in your hips. You can relax your feet and just open across the hips and open. Now, I don't know about you, but I've had some moments of anger lately. Not even about anything in particular, just feelings of grrr. And a lot of times those feelings, they say that anger is held in our liver. So that's not a good thing. And also in our hips. So we're letting that go. We're letting things soften. And so this is why movement's so important, because it helps us not only move the physical systems of our body, but it helps us move our emotions. So all that heavy breathing is so good for an emotional release as well as our physical release. So just honor the emotions you've been feeling. Don't expect them to be all the same. That would be boring. But express in them when you feel fear or anger or sadness or even disgust. That's there's 9 major emotions in yoga. Those are 4 of them. And we want to acknowledge them and then learn to let them go, because they don't serve our health and well-being. You don't want to ignore them. That doesn't serve us either. Now, some of you might want to take this leg that's up here, the bent knee, and maybe even straighten it out. I know my knee was just like wanting to open. So some of you could do it with a 90-degree angle, almost like an inverted lunge. You could, if you can reach the foot, or you can just wrap your hand around and push it in, okay? If that's too much on your back, certainly you could bend the knee now if you want to get more of an opening. This is going to stretch more the back of your hip of the bent knee. Keep it straight, you'll more up here. So just notice what you feel, and notice how you feel, coming back to those emotions, this time of nurturing your body and moving your breath and being present and being in the presence of this community. We're all here as wellness warriors to take care of ourselves so we can be more effective in the world. Holding the light, right? Let's be light bearers. All good. Now bringing that bent knee in again, you could just place your hands. Do bend the leg that's been straight and place your ankle across it. And then we're going to press the knee away. And again, you could just do a little rocking. Some of you might feel enough sensation right here that that's enough. Now, if you're near your wall, if you can move around and get near your couch wall chair, you could use that to put your foot up. And that's a great way to get a little deeper into this deep hip muscle, the rotators. Or, of course, some of you are probably already doing this, grabbing the thigh. Now, when you do this, notice that you're flattening your back. Just be aware of what you're doing in your spine. That's most important. Are you maintaining the curve? Or are you stretching and lengthening the lumbar curve? And what's going to serve you? What's holding the integrity of your alignment? How about that breath, too? And then release. Take both feet to the ground. Give it a little rock. So whatever you've experienced today, anything that felt really right for you, where your body said, yes, I'm really liking this right now. Will you do this more often? You want to listen to that wise body. Stretch one leg, bring the other leg up, and do that every day. One thing every day. A little something for yourself every day. Maybe more than one, but at least one. Start with one. That's doable. So whether it's standing and getting your energy flowing and moving around a lot, or getting on the floor and just breathing deeply and evenly and giving some gentle stretches. What's serving you to balance your energy, to balance your emotions? This is our medicine. And we have these tools of transformation to help transform anything that's not serving us into the possibilities of being our best self. Again, if you want to take this leg at a 90-degree angle, this leg coming up might be easier. Play around. Where do your legs want to go so that your hips feel nourished? Maybe settle in one location. Maybe straighten the leg. So many possibilities right here. It's a great lesson for life, right? Look for the possibilities. Another breath or two in this inverted lunge. Take the ankle to the bent knee. Open that up. So this is to go deep into what we call the hip rotators of the piriformis. Option is to take the foot on the floor to the couch or the chair, or to pull it in deeply. Watch how you make your choices. Are you listening and then responding to the wisdom of your body in the present moment? This is the practice of yoga. And slowly releasing the feet to the floor again. Get yourself arranged. So I know I had you kind of move all over the place, but if you can, this is super important to get your feet above your head. So again, you could have your feet up on a wall. They could be straight or they could just be up at the wall, on the couch, on the chair, and supported, okay? If you're little and your legs feel too tall, just come to your ankles. And then if your chin is up, you might want something underneath your head. You might need a little support there. So really take a moment to truly drop in. I'm going to come back and talk you through a little meditation while you're resting. So get yourself comfortable. Know that self-care is your best health care. So please take care of yourself right now. Settle in. This is the dessert of the practice. So just as we began our practice, scan through your precious human body. Notice all sensation. First of all, just let it be heavy and just sink into the earth. Feel the earth supporting you. And as you release and let go and allow yourself to be held, notice any place in your body that feels light. Sense the lightness of your being. Feeling of lightness. Perhaps with your exhalation, you return again to that sense of heaviness, that deep, earthy, rooted sensation. And each inhalation, returning to that sense of lightness, openness, expansion. And feel yourself there, both heavy and light, rooted and expansive. And let this pulsation of opposites be felt not just in the muscles and bones of your body, but deep into the cellular structure, every cell in your body, contracting and expanding with life, with energy. Whole body expanding and contracting, that gentle internal massage, that continual motion that keeps everything communicating, coming back to itself and expanding out again. And imagine, if you will, as you move through your day, maintain this ebb and flow, this rise and fall, this expansion, contraction, to keep your own life force moving. And if you notice times where you feel contracted, tight, tense, now you have these tools of movement of body and breath to help break that up, to release. Or maybe you might feel a little spaced out or ungrounded, or everything's moving, you're not sure where to land. That's too much expansion. And so come back and get strong in your body and ground into the earth. Again, now you know you have these tools. So we want to utilize these tools of transformation throughout our day. It's not just 1 hour. It's not just one time. It's a continual, integrated lifestyle, moving towards balance, becoming and maintaining, being resilient, so we can approach whatever life hands us with strength and courage and grace. Now slowly lengthen the sound of your breath, the deepening of the breath to the belly, ribs, and chest. Feel your fullness. Release the jaw. Exhale, let go. And do that a few times. A nice full deep breath in. Maybe start to stretch your body. And let go. Long, slow, deep breaths in and out. Stretching now, gently moving, awakening, and recognizing who you want to be today. How you want to be today. And then when you're ready, it's always good to roll to your side first before coming up. And I actually researched that this week because, again, it has to do with our nervous system. We want to roll to the side because that keeps our nervous system relaxed, and we just brought it into that place. Let's keep it there in relaxation response. And then peel yourself up. You want your head to kind of just hang and bring yourself up. Again, that keeps the nervous system relaxed. And then once you're up, let your head lift up over your shoulders. Find a comfortable seat, whether you're on the floor or you want to sit back in whatever's comfortable. But sit tall, ground your hips on the earth again. Feel the full length of your spine, reaching upward towards the crown of your head as your roots sink into the earth. Feeling that expansion and contraction that keeps us alive and well. Let's place the palms together at our heart in Anjali Mudra. Feel those hands coming together, the heart and hands together. Breathe in with gratitude for this time that you've given to your health and well-being. Breathe into this beautiful circle that's come together from all areas supporting this opportunity to take good care of ourselves so we can take good care of those around us. We can send those good healing vibes out into the planet. I so appreciate everyone coming together today, being here. May your day be peaceful and vibrant, joyful. Namaste.